emerging from the depths of poverty, growing with a single objective of improving yourself at all costs, no matter what actions you must take to achieve it. These few limits led this individual to become the figure he is today. We are referring to Nestor Isidro Garcia, known as El Nini or Cerro 9, an enigma for the authorities, since not much has been established about his family or family tree. However, what can be stated with certainty is his relevance in the organization of Chapo's children, being the protagonist of the rivalry with Ismael Zambada Garcia. Despite his young age, he is the one who leads the Nini, an armed wing of Ivan Archibaldo. Stay until the end of the video to understand details about the most notable events in the history of El Nini o El Cerro 9, the current security GP of the Chapitos. If you appreciate this type of content, subscribe. It's free. Nini plays the role of a hitman who protects Chapo Guzman's children and confronts Mayo Zambada. It is known that Nestor Garcia became involved in drug trafficking from an early age, managing to rise through the ranks of the criminal organization known as the Sinaloa cartel. His role in the group was to supervise the safety of Chapo Guzman's children, in addition to coordinating various logistical aspects related to the drug trafficking operation. According to the Three Letters organization, Nini is considered one of the essential elements of the criminal structure of the Chapitos, since he has proven to be loyal and efficient in his work. In addition, it is presumed that he has enjoyed the protection and support of the leaders of the Sinaloa cartel due to their close relationship. Some reports indicate that Online has been in charge of executing strategies to evade arrest by authorities and ensure the security of the group's operations. It is also noted that he has coordinated the shipment of substances to the United States, one of the main consumption markets for these drugs. The personal life of Nestor Isidro Garcia is an enigma, and it is unknown if he has family or other emotional ties. His discretion and lack of specific information about his life have contributed to his ability to remain in the shadows and avoid the attention of authorities. In fact, it is worth mentioning that even his name raises doubts, since it is not certain whether his name is really Nestor Isidro Garcia. Despite the persistent efforts of the DEA and other security agencies to identify him, Cerro 9 remains at large and remains an essential figure in the operations of the Sinaloa cartel. Online, he assumed responsibility for the safety and protection of Guzman's children, especially that of Alfredillo, known as Jesus Alfredo. His participation in the field of drug trafficking has been mentioned in numerous investigations linked to organized crime, evidencing a clear interest on the part of security forces in both Mexico and the United States. The DEA's Strategic Intelligence Unit has collected information about Nini, who also goes by the alias Cerro 9, as mentioned above. Although little information is available about his origin and personal life, it is presumed that he was born in Aguascaliente de Garret, located approximately 250 kilometers from the city of Culiacan, exactly in the state of Sinaloa. Although his exact age cannot be determined with certainty, this individual is estimated to be between 28 and 30 years old. His role as security GP shows the trust that Chapo's children place in this subject. Underscoring his relevance in the criminal structure of the Sinaloa cartel, authorities continue the search to learn more about his activities in the cartel. His role as a security leader and his close relationship with the children of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman have defined him as a figure of great importance in the fight against drug trafficking and a priority objective for Mexican and U.S. security forces. The Chapitos have assumed control of the drug trafficking business, representing a new generation that plays an essential role in protecting their interests and operations. It has been reported that the Chapitos, like Ovidio, who is already detained, and Ivan Archibaldo, who is Alfredo, lead a cell of oilmen known as the Ninis to dominate the capital of the state of Sinaloa. These cells are directed precisely by Nestor Isidro Garcia, and this is where the name of the group, the Nitis, comes from. The Chapitos' primary purpose in founding this cell was to prevail over the Russians, another rival faction that seeks to support the renowned drug trafficker Ismael El Mayo Zambada. The Russians were led by Ladies, or Lopez Nunez, recognized as the lawyer who was considered one of the leaders of Chapo Guzman's organization. In addition, the son of the lawyer Damaso Lopez Serrano was involved in the activities of this cell, the Russians. The rivalry between the Chapitos and the Russians intensified the fight for control of the state of Sinaloa, particularly its capital Culiacan. Both factions seek to expand their influence and consolidate their dominance in this territory of great relevance for drug trafficking, with the formation of the Chapitos under the leadership of Nestor Isidro Garcia, managed to prevail over the Russians and took control of the capital of Sinaloa. This conflict between the factions has generated a wave of violence in the region, with armed confrontations and homicides linked to the dispute over control of drug trafficking in the area. The authorities maintain a close surveillance over activities and movements in an effort to weaken and dismantle their criminal networks. The fight against drug trafficking continues to be a constant challenge in Mexico, where criminal groups continue to operate in various regions of the country. Mexican and U.S. authorities are monitoring the situation. Although they carry out operations to dismantle criminal groups and arrest their leaders, they have not achieved conclusive results. However, the presence of the power of these cells highlights the persistent difficulties that the government faces in the fight against drug trafficking in the Aztec country. 09, according to intelligence, is considered a highly dangerous individual. He is immersed in a series of criminal activities and is credited with leading a drug distribution network in various areas of the country. Additionally, it coordinates trafficking operations along the border between Mexico and the United States. The existence of this division in the Sinaloa cartel, represented by the Nitis and the Russians, shows the growing fragmentation and internal conflicts of the organization. At the time, it was headed by Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, father of Ivan Archibaldo, to whom Nini gives loyalty. These divisions have caused an increase in violence in certain areas under the control of the cartel, as well as an increase in confrontations with Mexican security forces and other criminal groups. Information from the Three Letters and other intelligence agencies is essential to understanding the intricate dynamics of drug trafficking in this country and the challenges that authorities face. Although there are few visual records of his appearance, several narco-corridos have highlighted the loyalty of Nestor Isidro Garcia, also recognized as Nestor Ernesto Perez Salas, or by his alias such as Mini or 09. This individual has made an effort to be faithful to the Chapitos, the heirs of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. The aforementioned leader of hitmen has sought notoriety both in Mexico and before the U.S. authorities. According to Mexican authorities, Isidro Garcia's fame is mainly attributed to his participation in the field of drug trafficking and the loyalty he professes to El Chapo's children, who run his father's criminal empire. After the capture of Ivan Archibaldo, current leader of the Sinaloa cartel, Nini protects all interests, ensuring that he becomes the new leader. This individual has been mentioned in various narco-corrido songs that highlight his unwavering loyalty to the Chapitos, as well as his skill and audacity in the world of crime. Despite the media attention he has generated, Nestor Isidro Garcia remains a largely enigmatic figure due to the lack of concrete details about him. This individual has dedicated himself to immortalizing his name in the chronicle of Mexican crime, aware that his life could be taken at any moment. In this sense, they have been responsible for commissioning musical compositions that tell their history and activities. One of the most notable narco-corridos about him is the value of time. In this song, it is highlighted that the 09 has reached its position thanks to its own efforts, highlighting its humble origin from the foundations. Additionally, the lyrics refer to the hitman's discretion, as he prefers to participate in private meetings rather than public events. In musical compositions, he is identified by the code 09, used in radio communications to refer to him. That's all for today. Don't forget to subscribe if you are truly passionate about narco stories. See you next time.